Why one job feels useless if you feel like one full-time job in Canada doesn't cut it anymore. You're not crazy. Groceries are up, rent is up, mortgage payments are up, but for many people, salaries haven't kept pace with the cost of living. So more and more Canadians are doing the same thing late at night, opening their laptop and searching something like Side Hustle Canada or how to make $10,000 per month. And online, it sounds like there are endless ways to do it. Dropshipping, day trading, crypto flipping. But a lot of those videos skip the most important part, what the numbers actually look like in Canada. So in this video, we are breaking down 5 side hustles that Canadians are actually using right now, and how they could realistically grow toward $10,000 per month. No hype, no Lamborghini thumbnails, it's just real math and real expectations. Reality check. What $10,000 a month actually means before we jump into the ideas. We need a quick reality check. $10,000 per month sounds massive. But remember, that's revenue, not profit. $10,000 per month equals about $120,000 per year. And that's before income taxes, CPP contributions, gas, equipment, software fees, platform commissions, refunds. All the things that come with running even a small business. So realistically, if someone is earning $10,000 per month from side hustles in Canada, they're usually doing one of two things. Either they've stacked multiple income streams together, or they've turned one side hustle into a small system with repeat customers, tools, or sometimes even helpers. So as we go through each idea, we'll cover 3 things. First, what beginners realistically earn. Second, how people scale it over time. And third, the traps that cause most side hustles to fail. All right, let's start with the most obvious one. Side hustle number 1, grocery delivery. The first side hustle is grocery and food delivery. Apps like SkipThroDishes, DoorDash, and Instacart are some of the easiest ways for Canadians to start earning extra money quickly. You don't need special training. You don't need a degree. Usually you just need a car, a smartphone, and the ability to follow directions. Now the big question is always the same. How much does it actually pay? Many drivers in Canada report earning somewhere around $17 to $23 per hour before expenses, depending on the city and demand. Instacart shoppers often report similar ranges, but the key phrase there is before expenses. Gas costs money. Cars wear out. Insurance matters. Of course, you still owe taxes on the income. So if someone works about 20 hours per week, maybe evenings and weekends, they might gross around $1,200 to $1,600 per month. After expenses, it's usually somewhat lower. Still, for a lot of people, that's meaningful extra cash. Now, the obvious question, could someone reach $10,000 per month doing delivery? Technically, yes. But it would probably require something like 50 to 60 hours per week, working peak times, optimizing the best delivery zones, and often running multiple apps at the same time. That's less of a side hustle and more of a full-time logistics operation. So for most people, delivery works best as a short-term tool, something that generates immediate cash flow while you pay off high-interest debt, build savings, or invest into something more scalable. Because platforms can change their pay structure at any time, and building your entire financial future around an app you don't control can be risky. Side hustle number 2, online freelancing. The second side hustle has significantly higher income potential. Online freelancing. Platforms like Upwork and Fiverr connect freelancers with clients all over the world, and this is where Canadians actually have a big advantage. Many clients on those platforms are American companies paying in US dollars, which means the exchange rate can work in your favor. Now, beginners usually start small. Services like writing, virtual assistants, basic graphic design, or social media management often begin around $15 to $25 per hour. But once someone builds reviews and experience, rates can climb much higher. Some surveys show experienced freelancers averaging over 40 United States dollars per hour across various skills. And specialized Canadian freelancers can charge much more depending on the niche. But the biggest challenge isn't the work itself. It's getting those first few clients. Because in the beginning, you're not just selling your service, you're building trust, reviews, and a portfolio. Once that foundation exists, scaling becomes much easier. For example, If a freelancer charges $50 per hour and bills just 50 hours per month, that's already $2,500 in revenue. To reach $10,000 per month, freelancers usually take one of two paths. They specialize in a high-value niche and raise their hourly rate dramatically. Or they turn freelancing into a small agency. They bring in projects, hire other freelancers to do part of the work, and keep a margin. Many people spend their first year learning skills and reaching maybe $1,000 to $3,000 per month part-time. Then over the next couple years, some scale that into a much larger business. Side hustle number 3, Airbnb a spare room. The third side hustle is something many Canadians already have the resources for. Renting a spare room on Airbnb, you don't necessarily need to own a second property. Even renting out an extra bedroom can generate extra income in the right location. Airbnb has reported billions of dollars in economic activity tied to travel in Canada. And interestingly, a lot of that demand happens in smaller cities where hotels are limited. Places near universities, hospitals, national parks, or tourist destinations can see consistent bookings. Let's look at a simple example. Imagine a spare room renting for about $60 per night. If that room gets booked 15 nights per month, that's $900 in monthly revenue before fees. Even after Airbnb's cut and occasional cleaning costs, it can still provide meaningful extra income. 2 rentable rooms might push that toward $1,500 or even $2,000 per month if demand is steady. At that point, you're not running a casual side hustle anymore. You're running a short-term rental business, and that comes with real considerations. Local regulations, condo restrictions, seasonal demand fluctuations, and of course, taxes. One of the biggest mistakes people make is over-leveraging buying properties, assuming Airbnb income will always cover the mortgage. Markets change, and vacancy risk is real. Side hustle number 4. Flipping on Kijiji. Side hustle number 4 is local flipping. This is one of the simplest business models you'll ever see. Buy undervalued items locally, improve them slightly, sell them for more. Platforms like Kijiji and Facebook Marketplace make this surprisingly accessible. People flip everything from furniture to power tools to electronics. Sometimes all it takes is cleaning something, tightening a few screws, and taking better photos. Let's look at some simple math. If someone averages about $50 profit per item and sells 10 items per month, that's $500. Side hustle number 5. Selling on Amazon Canada. The 5th hustle is selling products on Amazon Canada. Compared to Amazon.com, the Canadian marketplace is smaller. But that also means some niches have fewer sellers competing. One common beginner model is retail or online arbitrage. The idea is simple. You buy discounted products from stores or websites and resell them on Amazon at a higher price. Amazon then stores and ships the product using their fulfillment network. This allows small sellers to operate without managing their own warehouse or shipping department. But this model has trade-offs. Amazon charges storage fees, fulfillment fees, and sometimes advertising costs. Turns can eat into profits, and inventory requires upfront capital. So while some sellers eventually reach $10,000 or more in monthly revenue, it usually takes time. A realistic path might look something like this. Year 1 is mostly learning the platform and maybe reaching $1,000 to $3,000 in monthly revenue. If you find profitable products and reinvest earnings into more inventory, some sellers eventually scale toward $5,000 or even $10,000 monthly revenue businesses. But it requires patience, careful tracking, and consistent reinvestment. The realistic path to $10,000. So what does a realistic Canadian path to $10,000 per month actually look like? For most people, it's not one magical side hustle, it's a stack. It's maybe $1,000 to $2,000 from delivery while getting started. $2,000 to $4,000 from freelancing once clients are established. Another $500 to $2,000 from flipping items or renting out a spare room. And eventually, maybe a few thousand in revenue from something scalable like an online store. Stacked together, those income streams can realistically push someone into the $5,000 to $10,000 monthly revenue range. But only if it's treated like a real business. Track expenses. Follow Canadian tax rules. Reinvest profits. Side hustles aren't a magic escape from the cost of living. But for many Canadians right now, They read one of the few ways to create financial breathing room and eventually start investing through tools like the TFSA or RRSP instead of just surviving. If you're feeling overwhelmed by all these options, here's the key takeaway. Don't try to start 5 side hustles at once. Pick one. Get it to your first $500. Then decide whether to scale it or stack another income stream. On this channel, True North Invest, we break down money, taxes, investing, and side hustles specifically for Canadians. If that sounds useful, consider subscribing. And next, watch this video on how Canadian banks quietly keep customers paying unnecessary fees because earning more money helps. But keeping more of it matters even more.